doesn't perniciously influence this list in any way, and that's why Yoshi's Island is not on top.
No. Yoshi's Island, no, I think Majora's Mask is actually number one game for that. Yes. So what you see there is, again, so 2 weeks ago, that was the list. Yes, that's the Metal Gear Solid for Game Boy Color. Don't ask, that's just game rankings. I don't know what they do. So we thought that was a good starting point, but not a good finishing point. So we figured we needed to do something with that.
So we decided to make a game. So the rules of the game are that we would approach prominent people in the video game industry and provide them with a list and allow them to make a change. So when they got the top 10 list, they could basically say, you know what, game rankings, it's the will of the people. You know, I can't change anything about it. Or they could swap rankings. Or they could remove a game and replace it with another game. And we'll get into that in a little more detail. So swap, you could take 2 games on the list and exchange positions. So the number 2 game could go to the number 8 spot, which would mean that the number 8 game goes to the number 2 spot.
A little illustration of the swap. Everybody get it? Got it? All right.
Remove and replace. You can kick one of the games off the list and replace it with a new one. So if you think that game number 3 isn't really that deserving and there's a more deserving game, you can replace it with the game that you think that should be on the list.
So the first person who we took this list to was Patrice Desolé, who is the creative director on the Assassin's Creed franchise, one of the main people responsible for Assassin's Creed 2. And about 2 weeks ago, I asked Patrice for some help. I asked him to take a look at that list. I think I can show you the list again. So this is what Patrice saw. And he was able to make just one move. Now, he could have swapped any 2 games. He could have put Soul Calibur higher, maybe in the number 5 spot, putting Metroid down in the number 6 spot, those 2 flipping. But he decided not to do a swap. Instead, he decided to do a replacement. So he had to remove a game. So the game he decided to take out was...
We should sort of see what the audience would have done with this very first list. I mean, if
Uncharted 2.
That he would take off that list. What would it be?
Great. I'm seeing some culture here that's on the 4. Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color. Patrice, tell us what you did, Patrice. So, yes, Patrice removed Super Mario Galaxy, but maybe he put a better game in its place. Let's see, what did he put in place of Super Mario Galaxy?
International incident has been avoided.
And those Canadians that you can't trust.
So, Stephen, what was... Don't hate us because of our universal healthcare.
We're at 95% now.
So, Stephen, what rationale did Patrice give for bringing in Mario 64?
So Patrice basically said that, I mean, I don't think it's kind of bad to see that, but he said that basically all the rules of 3D gameplay were invented by Super Mario 64. He didn't really elaborate much further than that, but I think we can see that if you were going to have Mario Galaxy on there and not Mario 64, that may not make a lot of sense, so you go for the originator. Expert panelists, Frank, you approve of this movie?
I love that movie.
Yeah. Any disapproval?
And it's not just that it's more historically important. I actually think it's a better game. It's just overall, I just think that there's, I don't know, it's got more soul to me. But I think Galaxy's a great game, but it just feels a little thinner, a little more brittle, and 64 somehow has weight to it. I like the style.
Any developers out there, make sure you put a little soul in your game.
Frank, we're adjusting.
It's a much better movie. If you didn't put one of those games, you can't put one of them. So that's kind of the change.
You could, because you could add during this panel. You could add.
But I don't think the whole as a franchise. I don't want to put one of those games. So that's the main thing.
I saw a thumbs up from Chris, so I think we're here now. So we took the list all around the world. We took it to Patrice Desolé, and then we took it across the Atlantic Ocean.
Just ask him for a copy of it.
Peter Long. Actually, we didn't just take it. And Peter got to make his move. So Peter got to look at the list, and there it was. Maybe he would remove Mario 64, but he could have swapped. He did not swap. Instead, he also did the replace. So he took a game out.
Where did you want me to ask?
Okay, and then he does back. Where does everything trust him? It was. Peter did not provide much. Peter did not provide much explanation other than he routinely credits Half-Life as one of his top 5 games.